what's going on here. 1 minute it's saying I'm fine, and then it's saying I've got to rotate my device. Welcome to live chat. All messages. Well, saying I've got a chat going. Hi Simon. Thank you. Yeah, just I've literally trying to get Facebook, YouTube working so properly. So I'm a happy guy. I am a happy guy. I'm just trying to find a good spot for the phone to sit on. Right. Seems you have it sorted now. Well, I do. That's why I can't see the comments, because when you put a comment up, it comes up and it disappears again. I like it. Yeah. It saves beating a webcam, going through the whole rigmarole in there. It's just an absolute nightmare. How have you been keeping? I hope you've been okay. Yeah, I was out fishing on Saturday night. I got 3 beautiful rainbows off this fly that I'm tying. So I went back to fight for a few days ago. Gonna give tying some mackerel feathers a go. Yeah, Simon, definitely. Always worth a crack. I mean, like I say, I'm not the world's best tyer. I'm never going to say that I am, because I'm definitely not. But I know what mackerel and sea bass want to chase. I've got a guy that stays in Broughty Ferry, not far from me. Well, it's quite a distance, but he's not that far. He's been out basically sea bass fishing with a fly rod, and he had an absolute clunker of a bass. It was one of the biggest I've seen off a fly, and that's saying something. But yeah, this thing I'm tying up is just, it is so deadly, it's unreal. Don't ask me what it's meant to represent, I haven't got a clue. But yeah, deadly for rainbows. I mean, I'm still trying to work out why they love it. I've got a guy that goes up to the fishery. He booked a boat on Saturday night. Well, actually Saturday afternoon, and he's like, can I book a boat? I went, aye, so certainly you can't. My uncle was busy, so I took the phone call, and the guy's like, oh, I've never caught a rainbow trout yet up here. I was like, okay. So I gave him something that replicated this, but doesn't have a gold head. Well, a hot head. Basically, it's a gold head that's been spray painted or gloss painted, bright orange. Got loads of hooks. Need to get to a cheap shop and some craft supplies at some point. Simon, if you're on about craft shops and some cheap nail varnish, the cheapest place for nail varnish I've seen is Semichem. That's the cheapest place that I've seen for nail varnish. If you've got semi-chem nearby. Chemists, they've also got nail varnish. But yeah, most, even supermarkets have got nail varnish. But yeah, as I was saying, this guy's never caught a rainbow trout yet. So I gave him a blob, which is just basically this fritz, this chartreuse fritz with basically the orange thread. And that's all it was. When this thing's basically, to me, it's, I don't know if it's because of the actual hot head itself that's an attractor, or it's the green part that's the attractor. I don't know, but it's deadly. It really is, especially if you like stocky bashing. When I say stock trout, well, stocky bashing, I'm on about rainbow trout that have just no long been put in. So I'm trying a different tactic. I'm going with the same thing, but I got these hooks in the biggest size that Fooling Mill will do in a short shank special. This is a size 6. Basically, it's the shank of a size 8 because I've got a size 8 in front of me. This is from an old an old packet. Still brand new. But if I put that next to that, you'd probably not see the difference. I'm covering the eye of the hook. This is a size 8, which is basically a shank of a size 10, but the gape of a size 8. This is a size 6, sorry. The one that's got the hot head on it. This is size 6 with a shank of a size 8, but the depth of the hook is a size 6. Basically, the bigger gape. And I'm trying to see if this makes any difference, because I was doing my league, not this weekend, just gone, I think it was the previous weekend. Yeah, it would have been, because it was the last weekend of the month, and it only happens like once a month for 4 months: May, June, July, August. So it stops in August. The first fish I had, I didn't even know it was hooked. The fish just took the fly and swallowed it. It was never coming off. That was one good thing. Um, the second fish I got hold of, the fly actually came out in the net. I was like, I'm not keen on that. I mean, okay, it saves me it saves me handling the fish to get the fly out. But it's like, I'd rather have the fly, well, especially the hook part of the fly, stuck in its jaw. So that's why I've ordered, well, I got a mate of mine to order them for me, and I actually got them cheaper than a shop. I'm not naming names, but I can't keep throwing £7.25 a packet at them. I actually got these on, well, my mate got them online for me at £6.47 a packet, and he still got a discount after that. So I got 4 packets. So some of these will be hitting my flight box, and 10 of them will be hitting the office, or well, call it an office, but that's where my flies are for selling. So I'm seeing if the bigger gape holds up better, because it's quite a mouthful for a fish to take, but they absolutely love this. I don't know why. I created this thing in 2018 and it's still going strong. I've never had any complaints for the people that I've given it to try, including myself and my uncle. I gave one to my mum on, what day we on, Monday? Gave one to my mum on last night, well, yesterday evening. Says, yeah, that's the fly. He went, oh, is that the beast? I went, aye. So I gave him one. I don't know if he caught a fish on it or not, but hey ho. If you're still here, Simon, what kind of hooks are you looking for? That's my next question for you. I just haven't got my thing tangled in my hair. Oopsie. Trust me. There we go. Sit at peace, bobbing. Now, take that back out, put that back in. That's it. I'll need to get fresh nail varnish. This stuff I've got's useless. I've got a load of 2.0 Classic Aberdeen I can use. Two O's are they're a big kind of hook, aren't they? Simon, because if you're going to be tending on, are you going to fly fish for mackerel, or are you going to just are you going to be using? If you were using like the hooks I'm using, but you can actually get them without being you can actually get these in a bog standard size, which would be, if it was a size 6, it's probably about where my finger is, because a size 8, even though that this is a short shank, I did have some somewhere. It's the length of the hook. So you could get a packet of these, no, the bog standard size, without being a short shank special. They would actually be enough for you if you were to use them as feathers. The hook's actually a decent size, believe it or not. The other way you could do it is, if, since you've like seen my comment, well, now I've got my comments working, even if you just get yourself a packet of cheap doubles, you can actually fly fish one that way. So instead of like having a tiny treble, you can actually use something. Even this would work for mackerel, believe it or not. It's got a shiny body, because when that gets pulled through, that just basically moves. it's got to be the flow of the water. I mean, this thing I'm tying up here just now is just basically stuff that I'll be putting into the loch, plus my own fly box. So basically, if you walk into a tackle shop, I don't know what's near you, Simon, but if you walk into a tackle shop, ask for just a normal packet of size 8 to size 6 full and mill flies, hooks, um, and you will get a packet of 50. Because I was watching John Locker, in my eyes, one of the best sea anglers that I've actually watched. He had a string of size 8 hooks, and I was wondering then, when he was using them, I wonder if that was full in, well, it doesn't matter what, if they're full in mils or anything, but if they were size 8s, I mean, it's just like a bog standard hook that us anglers, like fly fishermen, would use. I mean, let's say that they're a size 6, but it's the length, basically from the eye of the hook to the back of the hook, is a size 8. It's the gape from where the point is to the top is the gape of the hook is a size 6. You get all sorts, really, size of hooks. I mean, they can go right all the way up to. They usually tend to do them in an even number, so like 2, 4, 6, 8. Then if you're on sea hooks, you've got like your 1 O's, 2 O's, 3 O's, 4 O's, 5 O's, 6 O's, 7, 8, 9, 10. They go up single digits if they're in salt water. But mainly if you're fly fishing, it's even numbers. Don't ask me why, it's just how it is. That's the interesting part. So, um, I take it you're watching me as well as Will, Simon. I'm just asking if he's had it. If you are, I wonder if he's had anything yet. Because I'm not really want to poach his viewers, if you know what I mean. I get told off. Um, has he had anything? I mean, I'm happy that he's catching fish. If he is definitely catching fish, I'm happy. I'm happy for him that way. He's just had a fox run off with his bait. Well, so I take it he's packing up fishing then, or is Superman Dread's gonna come and save him? Wily little fox. Well, foxes have got to eat like us humans. That's a fact. Everything's got to eat. Should have been paying attention. It's his own fault. Well, that is definitely karma then. After the last video that I seen him do, he blamed the fox for being, what was it? He blamed the fox for stealing his bait knife, but it wasn't the fox's fault that the fox stole the bait knife, because the fox didn't steal the bait knife. The bait knife was in his tent, and blamed the fox, and the fox has now returned with karma. Am I right in saying that? Just say yes, so you just agree with me. I'd call that instant karma. Well, the next time I go to fishing, I'll be okay. Yeah, no fox is going to bug me. Boom. Famous last words. Well, he was warned. He was warned, Simon. I mean, the things I'm tying up for trout, I kid you not, if I did it properly enough with bigger hooks, like the normal sizes instead of having short shank specials, like the bog standard size 8s of these make hooks, oh, you'd have plenty of fun with mackerel on these things. Because with that, they've probably never seen this before in their life, and they'd be that stupid to not know the difference between a trout fly and what they're going to get fed, because they'll chase anything. So I wouldn't be surprised if a mackerel would actually take this. I mean, depends on how far down the water column mackerel actually stay at, because they've got to fluctuate with the bait fish are. But then once you get bait fish, mackerel find that, then the predators find the mackerel. So it's like you can see the ecosystem working in full flow. Because even though our question, well, it'll only be tying a few different types. The tail on this, even though it's like massive, what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim it. Just hold, pinch, hold. There you go. That part there is going to be my next tail for the same fly, because I've got a pile of them to do. It might look boring and whatever else, but honestly, I do not know why they love this. They just do. I came up with this in 2018, and it's never failed me. It's just been an absolute powerhouse of a fly to me. So I must be doing something right with it. So the wily fox has won again. Well, that's what happens. I mean, what was its name? Filbert or something? Why not Basil Brush? I mean, Filbert the fox. I've never even heard of a Filbert fox. Filbert the fox. I've heard of Basil Brush. What other foxes have I heard of? Tails. Yeah, okay, I'm showing my age now. Yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog. You got Tails. Well, Tails was a fox. What else was a fox? Fox and the Hound. Todd. Um, well, Simon, what about Fox's Biscuits? Because I was watching one of his streams quite a while back, and he was giving it Fox's Biscuits. So that's cannibalism.
Fox's biscuits.
Yep. You got it in one, darling. Yeah, that's Mrs. Fish Whisperer. Yeah. So Foxy Woxy decided that what else is a fox? Roxy? Roxy. Was it Roxy Bingo? Or Foxy Bingo? You got Foxy Bingo. Ah, the fox has hit the jackpot, taking his bait, and then taking a crap right next to his tent. That's funny. That's funny. I hope it stinks.
What?
I hope it stinks.
What?
Well, Simon was just telling us that Will, since he's out fishing, right?
Mm-hmm.
The fox took his bait and scuttled away, came back, and did a crap right next to his tent that he's got as a beach shelter.
Just be careful what you're saying now, please.
So yeah, it needed to go to the lavatory. Well, I suppose it's a decent place to do it. It was sheltered. Oh, I seen that the other day, yesterday. Bassets.
It says only put up a day ago.
Hmm.
4 males, 6 females.
Aye. Yeah, so Foxy Woxy's won.
Oh, look.
She's seen it. Mm-hmm. Keep going the way you're going, I might end up getting you one.
What?
Aye.
What?
Yeah.
What?
I said the way things are going, we're gonna have to get one.
I think so.
Aye. How nay? Of course we are.
No.
Why?
Nah.
What, you wouldn't hear Basset Hound?
No.
I would.
Nah. Got enough to you for you to look after.
Now that's a bit harsh.
No, it's the truth.
That's harsh.
No, it's not. It's the truth.
No, it's nay.
Nah. Very fucking real.
Don't swear, darling. I'm on a video. Sorry about that if you heard bad language.
Ouch.
Um, Anybody still here, or have we got anybody? Oh, did maybe you're still throwing my bits of well, depends what was on the sandwich actually, Simon. Uh, uh yeah, it depends what was on the sandwiches. But yeah, imagine throwing a fox's biscuits. I mean, he should be having them for himself. I'm on about the fox, not Will. I mean, okay, I used to be a mod for him until I just, well, it wasn't actually my fault, to be honest.
Never mind dishing up the past.
It wasn't my fault. It was just circumstantial. Couldn't have liked it that much. He helped himself to the crabs rather than wait for sandwiches tonight. Well, he must have been peckish. Maybe he's got BBs. BBs to feed. Yeah. Wonder what else. BBs to feed. Um, you never know. But no, I don't understand why people have got a problem with foxes. I mean, I think they're absolutely beautiful creatures. I mean, especially the ones that have been well maintained. That absolutely look gorgeous. I mean, it's like they've been bathed and fluffed up with a hairdryer. I mean, it's amazing what people are doing for wildlife nowadays. I mean, I've seen it with a lot of people with otters. I mean, I've already said that I'd love to have an otter. I mean, that would be absolutely great fun. I think fox is huge. Well, see, foxes make it so they're like a sitting duck half the time because it's like, okay, they know they're going to get fed at sea. Well, when somebody turns up to the beach, right? But humans, well, us lot are just as bad. I mean, we put up pheasant pens where foxes stay. Hi Beverly, happy 4th of July as well. Um, like I say, I'm in Scotland, and yeah, I got to admit, it's nice that you guys have got your Independence Days. Hmm, envious. No, it's coming. I know for a fact it's coming, but we just don't know when, Simon. I mean, if anybody had a brain cell nowadays, they'd be wanting independence down south and all, and get rid of what's happening on your doorstep. I mean, the pantomime monkey is still in office, and he's just ruining everything that he touches. I mean, I've even stopped buying uh, Tonic's tea cakes, Baxter soup. Not interested. I mean, England should have had their independence, but they want to go for it. I'm happy to back them up, but you definitely got to get rid of what's happening with that lot.
Keep it onto the subject that you're on, dear, not anything else.
No, it's just what Simon's put up.
Regardless, it's not a politics show.
Maybe we should start talking about politics. Fishing's politics. You can't catch this, you can't catch that, you can't catch the next thing, but it's okay to catch this species, but you can only land so many of them. I found out something the other night. In fact, it was yesterday I found out that the club I used to be in, right, have banned treble hooks. And they've, well, you're still at a spin as long as you're using a barbless double or a barbless single hook, but on the same river, a different club can go up and fish the river with treble hooks. The same river, just a different club. Have they, Simon? What? I'm not being funny. Whereabouts in the UK are you? I'm just trying to like wonder where you actually. I'm not wanting to know where you stay. I'm just wondering what part of the UK that you're in. I know you're in England somewhere. I'm in Gosport. Gosport. That's near Portsmouth. Um, you're not far from Will. Ah, so Fareham direction. Fareham, Gosport, Portsmouth. Yeah, okay. Um, I know where you are now. South Coast. I was talking to Fish and Chips on the phone. You probably know him as Darren. I know him as Darren. You probably know him as Fish and Chips. Um, I was talking to him over the weekend, and I was bamboozled. And he says, well, my fish off with Darren Bennett hasn't gone ahead because I'm brand new to sea fishing. I mean, I've done fly fishing all my days, but it's like I said to Darren, I says, I'll do your fish off. All right, okay. What species? He says, well, you catch a flounder or a dab, and I'll try and catch a dogfish because I've never caught dogfish. I've been through Arbroath 4 times already and still not had dogfish. So I don't know what's happened. But that that went down. I've tried asking around of what species of fish are in Arbroath, and I'm still getting nowhere. Oh, you want to join a club to get the information? No, I shouldn't be joining no club to get an information. If I want to go sea fishing, I want to know exactly what I'm going for now, what's there, and I'll tell you. It is ridiculous. I mean, you're trying to get young people to go out fishing instead of sitting in their house on their Xboxes and PlayStations. So what do? Stop them straight at the gate of where you're wanting to fish, of what species they're wanting. This is why I'm doing this. I mean, I go on YouTube. I mean, I'm not a YouTuber by any means. I mean, I used to do my live videos on Facebook. I'm like, this is great fun. It's only since I've been watching Will that I thought, well, if he can do a YouTube channel and do everything about fishing, then so can I. Can't be that hard. Now, I'm actually looking at my phone properly without going through this whole rigmarole of using the webcam because that was driving me up the wall. So, I mean, why would you stop the younger generation for doing something that you do and have done for quite a number of years? I mean, there's an angling club of where I stay, and it's still never moved with the times. Never. And that's been since I was there, going through junior to adult. They've still never changed. I don't know why. Is the older generation scared that their almighty precious club could be trophy hall? Is like, oh, but I can't. No, it's not happening. What kind of day and age is this that you cannot take your own son or daughter to a loch to fish a worm, a loch? There's nothing special about the place. It's only 40 acres, and it's nothing special. There's nothing. There's that. All that's in there is stock brownies. That's another thing, Simon. You've hit the nail on the head there. I mean, why talk about fishing? Just go and do it. Okay, I've had to pretty learn things pretty quick. I mean, I've been told for another guy that is in the club I'm in now. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the club I'm in now. I'll never. I won't fish anywhere else. Put it that way, unless I'm going to sea. If it's fresh water, it'll be two places: Llantraithin and Backwater. Llantraithin's got rainbows and wild brownies and perch. Backwater's got wild brownies. I've had brown trout on this fly, wild brownies on this thing that I'm tying up. Never had an issue. But I mean, angling clubs are going to have to try and do something so they can survive. I mean, the one here. I mean, I don't think it's got long left because if the angling club here goes, that's it. There's no fishing left apart from the council stretch. I mean, I'd hate to see that happen, but it's a sign of the times. And they've only got themselves to blame. I mean, my nephew's not interested. Okay, Kenny's only 7 years old. I mean, I started when I was 3. But my own man, his granddad's like, nah, he's never going to be a fisherman. Even though he likes the boats at Llantraithin, he will never be a fisherman. There's just, he's not interested. Plus, being 7 years old, I mean, you get new things that come out and they're like, oh well, that's it. I don't need to worry about anything. You just let them get on with it. Free spirits. But uh, I'm 31 and I have seen a huge difference in fish. You know about salmon and sea trout in the well, especially up here where I stay, we used to have one of the best salmon rivers in Scotland. Honestly, and I am not joking. We had one of the best salmon rivers in Scotland. And of course, coastal netting took a huge chunk of that stock. But there was one netting station that actually had a hatchery to try and rear them up and then replenish the stock that way. That fell through. And then we were left with another netting station that just kept on fishing and fishing and fishing until that river had basically hardly any fish left. And that was the sad part. That was the very sad part. It is trying to turn around now since that netting station is no longer in operation. But my war cry is why fish for something that's not there? Leave them alone. That's why I'll hardly ever fish a river. I'll type salmon flies for people to fish a river, but I'd rather fish someplace where I know for a fact I'm going to catch something, and I'm not bugging anybody. I don't have to go by rules and okay, I've got to be some rules, but nothing to the stage of oh you've got to use this, you've got to use that, you've got to use the next thing. No, not happening. I mean, kids Kids should be taught things, important things. Because when I was at school was just a waste of time. I walked into high school, that was even worse. I asked the teacher, says, do you teach entomology? No. Well, you're no use for me then. Why do you want to learn about that? He says, well, I want to. But kids would rather just sit in front of an Xbox and play that until the cows come home. This has been the fly that's caught me the most fish since 2018. Don't ask me what it's called, I don't know. It's my wealth fly. When all else fails, rely on this, and you will catch a fish. Mm, well, I mean, didn't get me wrong, I've learned a lot from my old man. I've done. A lot. I learned a lot from my uncle. But I think, talking from like the younger generation, for them to try and do this, they've got to be willing and trying it. And people are never giving them a chance. Because society's completely changed. You'll actually learn a lot more on a river than you would anywhere else, right enough. And that's a fact. Especially if you're fishing. You learn more on a river than you will anywhere else. Because then you have to think, like, what do the fish actually eat in a river? So that's why you go through the whole entomology classes. How many have we got of them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What? 1, 2, 3, 4. No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This will be my 10th one. Make up 10 of these, and I'll put them up to Lentrathan. Hopefully people will buy them. Would be a lot better if it did. And I can get other materials, type other flies. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. Got 6 left. So that 6 that's left will come to moi. Point of the bend. Well, point of the hook, point of the bend, point of the hook. By God. Oh, sorry. I'm yawning. Are you still with us, Simon? I'm just asking. Kind of curious. Yeah, there's a fine line between teaching and learning.
That's on my side of the floor.
Well, that was meant to be on a tube fly, because that was the head of it, and there's the tail, and it just turned to mush because it was tied on silicone. That's all right.
Excuse me?
So, my idea, Simon, for you would be try and find the cheapest packet of either normal size 8 hooks or size 6s. I know mackerel might have a big enough mouth, but they don't have a big mouth. I mean, where are they? Try and show you something quickly. Well, once I've tied this in. Let's see. That's fine. Let's tie that in the way it sits. I think I've got them outside this table. I didn't need to get up. I know that they've been used, but I don't know how the light in the situation is going to be when it comes to showing you a pack of hooks through the bag. I mean, that's about size 8. I wouldn't be I wouldn't be too far off. They'd probably be a size 8 of a hook. I don't know what manufacturer because they were already on a string. So I don't know. But try and find the cheapest packet size 8 hooks. That would be a good starting point. You could do them on trebles, you could do them on singles, you could do them on doubles. I mean, that's if you're fly fishing for them. If you're putting them on a string, like a, what would you call it? Well, just like a normal string. I did something the other night before I went away through to my uncle's house. I did my very first, um, I did my very first dropper loop knot, or whatever it's called, dropper loop. Now, I've got £60 monofilament nylon. I'm thinking about doing my own rigs using that. Dropper knot. Well, there you go. See? So you could tie up your own stuff that's on single hooks. Still work. But let's say I got given a gift yesterday of materials for tying up salmon flies. I was doing that earlier. Um, bulk up the body a bit with this. But yeah, basically, uh, you say you're going to pop down to the tackle shop. I just got the tail end of that message. I'm going to put that in and see what they have. Never thought of using tables. It depends. It really does depend. I mean, I prefer to use single hooks if I'm doing a string. Trebles, even though that you think, okay, you got 3 points, 3 very sharp points, but what you actually fishing for? I mean, I could, for instance, where is it? I could put that on a line and have a treble hook behind it. That's no problem. I mean, that's all it is. Something really simple. I mean, a mackerel would even take that. I mean, mackerel take anything really. They're the most stupidest fish alive that I think, known to man. But then, I mean, people are like, oh, there's hardly any mackerel. Well, mackerel's a good bait, and I'm not going to dispute that. But my species of fish that I want to catch is definitely dogfish. So the next time I'm going sea fishing, I will be trying the cliffs. I'll take a mackerel rig just in case if there are any in, but I don't know when that'll be. But I'll be trying out I'll be tying up, no, trying my mackerel feathers home tire things. I'll give them a swim. Well, to them, anything's a bait fish. I mean, this thing here I'm tying up could be classified as a bait fish. But I know for a fact these things here work for rainbows. Yeah. Even if you have a look in the tackle shop, try and get something. If they've got deals on, right? You've got this stuff here. You'll probably see the UV sparkle through it. This is gold. That's gold UV straddle. You've got white UV straddle. You also get green UV straddle. This is all just fritzy stuff that I've got. A great colour, claret UV straddle. You can see that better. And then you've got this stuff. I mean, I'm not gonna. What's that? 1, 2, 3. Right, so there's one down. Got an idea. Since I've got that stuff beside me, I've got other stuff as well. Yeah, even likes of this. Simon, even likes of that. It's like a chartreuse yellow stuff. Chartreuse yellow. Mobile and water like marabou, used for binds of lures, jigs, streamers, trout, sea trout, and salmon flies, mixed with marabou or hair, tie in as wing or tail, or use for nymph and buzzer bodies or ribbon. So, I mean, anything. Mackerel will take anything. I mean, I even got told that we'll even take a shiny hook. Let's see, I've only got 4 more of these to go. Now, white. I mean, this is marabou, and it's so mobile, it's unreal. Sorry, I'm yawning. I'm not boring everybody. That's what happened. But yeah, I mean, you can see how mobile that is. I mean, even if you were, yeah, I wouldn't recommend. Now I can't mind if marabou is off of a turkey or an ostrich, Simon. You could be saying ostrich. You wouldn't be far wrong. It's either turkey or ostrich. And that'd be the only two birds that marabou would come from. Um, that's better. Let's see. Yeah, it just adds the extra flash to the tail. Now, no benefits. So when was the last time you were out fishing, Simon? And what were you fishing for? What were you fishing for? Did you get any with the surface lure? Or were they hard to show face? Are you more into sea fishing with spinners and bait, or would you prefer to try and fly fish for them? No, I wouldn't say so. I wouldn't say that, Simon. There's a guy, like I said, got on Facebook. His name's Chris. His name's Chris Watson, and that's all he does is fly fish for his species. Had a beautiful bass. Um, was it yesterday or was it today? A beautiful bass, and he caught it on a fly. He has had plenty of sea trout on the fly. He fishes the Tay estuary, so that's probably why. Um, but yeah, I'd definitely to try and catch a mackerel on a fly. Well, again, I've got moon tide stuff there, but yeah, it would be nice. Single fly, single hooked fly. Now, this is what I was trying to say earlier about fish and chips. Darren. I was on the phone to him last night, and I was on about the Atlantic Ocean, and he says, "Go on." And I says, "Well, think about it." He says, "You've got the Atlantic Ocean and the North Sea. The North Sea is basically 9 miles from me." And he says, "Right." I says, "I think you have got more chance of getting a better quality fish in the summer than I will." And he says, "What do you mean?" He says, "Well, think about it. Atlantic Ocean is basically where, well, salmon feed in the Atlantic Ocean, and that's a fact. And that's why they call it Atlantic salmon. They feed in the Atlantic." And I said to him, I said to Darren, I says, "Maybe it's because the way that it works with you being near Chesil." I said to him, I says, you've probably got a better chance of catching something than I have." And he's like, "You think so?" I says, "Darren, it's written in stone. The North Sea is fantastic for basically cod fishing in the winter time. It can be funny when it comes to mackerel fishing in the summer because I mean everybody's saying, 'Oh, but the sea temperature's rising.' I says, well, wait a minute here. Every water's rising temperature wise, but that shouldn't stop. That shouldn't stop. What's the word I'm looking for? That shouldn't stop saltwater fish from coming in close, like some mackerel in the summer. Because even in the summertime here, mackerel will be in, but as Will said, he went out mackerel fishing, and he didn't get any mackerel until October. They finally came in October. So I'm thinking, well, wait a minute. If you're fishing the English Channel, I mean that's basically both seas collided into one. You've got the North Sea one way, and then you've got the Atlantic Ocean another. So surely I can't be wrong in saying that the Atlantic Ocean is probably the better ocean to fish in. It's just a hunch I've got. It's just a hunch. Could be a wrong hunch, but I think that's my hunch. This is the most easiest easiest fly in the world to tie, and it's the most deadliest fly that I've came up with. I mean, I've used to come up with different concoctions of things, and I was like, nah, when I work, boom, no, I'm going to have to make up more of them. I'm like, well, you're going to have to try and do something. I mean, I thought as much. I don't know if it's because of the amount. What's the word I'm looking for? The amount of wind farms in the North Sea. I don't know. Sorry, I dropped one, so I wasn't getting this in my foot. No, thank you. I mean, I think the wind farms have got a lot to do with it. I mean, that's my opinion. I mean, why would anybody? Well, it depends on whereabouts in the North Sea, though, Simon. I mean, where I am in Scotland, like the northeast coast, which is like I said between Dundee and Aberdeen's where I am. But you look at the rugged coastline from from well, I'd say from Edinburgh to at least Fraserburgh. You look at a rugged coastline that we've got up here. I mean, we were connected to Norway at one point, and we have got some really big, deep holes in the North Sea. I mean, it was renowned for cod fishing in the winter time. I mean, Darren even said it himself. He says, I used to go down to Chesil Beach. I went, okay. He says, yeah, I had great fun. I mean, the biggest cod he ever had out of Chesil was 18.5 pounds. I went, oh. He says, I've never wanted to try and beat it ever since, so there's no point. I went, well, that's kind of a shame. He says, it was just a one fish wonder. It wasn't on camera. I didn't have a phone that had a camera. I never took a video camera with me. I said, well, that's a shame. But then people still go down there and try and see if they can get a decent fish. I mean, let's say I've been through to Arbroath 4 times now. Have I, darling?
What?
Have I been to Arbroath 4 times or 5 times now?
It's three. So it's you and me and Buckley.
That was one.
You went out to Westling,
There's two.
and then you went out again.
I think it's been 4 times I've been. Because I've tried the Harbour Wall twice.
Yeah, that was your first time when you went through.
Was
And
it?
you got back quite late at night.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it has to be a dogfish there. Has to be. I mean, that's another thing that bugs me. I mean, people miscry dogfish. I don't understand why. I love them. They look so cute and adorable. Okay, they might have sandpaper for skin, but I love them. And yet, there's Will saying, "Oh, but dogfish should be used as a food source because there's plentiful of them." Well, that's okay saying that because you're catching them all the time. What about people who haven't caught one, like me? I mean, that's a bit cruel. But I mean, if you're in a place that's plagued with dogfish, it can be a good food source. I'm not disputing that. But I think there should be something left for people who haven't caught something. I mean, I went out to try and find place in Dab the time I went out to West Links. I mean, somebody caught one. I seen the guy who was fishing, sent him a friend's request, and got in touch with him. He was like, "Yeah, well, that was me." I was like, "Oh, okay." Sent him a friend's request and accepted me, no bother. I says, "What were you catching him on?" "I was catching him on this thing." "Alright, okay." I didn't have any of that. More fool me. I mean, I was trying freshwater baits. Well, freshwater fish are, as in i.e. rainbow trout, for bait. I will get something on one of them yet. I can feel it. When it does happen, I can't wait for it. I'm just going to say yes. I knew it was working. I knew it would work. I mean, who knows? Could be a cod. Could be a dogfish. I mean, I do this to try and pass time, and if anybody's struggling with anything, you can just ask anything straight out the bat. I'm not going to hide anything. I mean, there's been a lot of YouTubers that I watch, and it's like they don't want to help anybody anymore. And I was like, well, what's the point in doing that? I mean, you go on YouTube, you try and help someone. You try and sell, well, not sell, but You try and give your information that you've been taught over the years to people who haven't been thought, oh, how does this work? I mean, it's like I asked Will the other night. I says, "What's a snood?" He says, "Oh, a snood's a hook length." I says, "Well, why don't I just call it that, like a dropper?" He says, "Well, it's called a snood." I went, "So how long is that? Like 10, 12 inches?" He says, "No, no, no. Anything between a foot to 4 foot in length." He says, "I'm using a pulley panel rig." I went, "Okay." I mean, that's the kind of thing I'm more interested in, is like how to do that, how to tie my own rigs. Exactly. My uncle's a biker, and I've worn a snood myself. Yeah, when I've been on the back of the bike with him, it keeps my neck warm. Keeps the wind off the. Keeps the wind from going down your jacket. That is freezing when it happens, and I'm not just saying that. Honestly, it's bitterly cold. There's just enough gap between the helmet and your jacket for air to get down into your chest, and it's freezing. So yeah, I mean, anybody that says, "Oh, what's why call it snood?" I mean, that's why I try. That's why I had. That's what I said to Will. Says, "Why call it a snood when it's not even a snood? A snood is something that you wear." I was like, "Oh, that's what people call it." It's like, well, why? It doesn't even make sense, and it still doesn't make sense. So, I mean, what's nah, Simon? You and I are on the same wavelength, my friend. We definitely are. Mm, Anybody says, "Oh, corporate jargon," mm, go and come up with fancy names and whatever else. Nah, bye. Oh, it's got to be this. It's got to be spelt this way. Well, it's like what I was reading the other day. Now everybody knows the answer to this question. 2 plus 2 equals 4. I was like, and that's exactly what it is. 2 plus 2 equals 4. No, it's not. It's 5. Um, how can it be 5? Oh, because it just is. Went, can it be 5? Well, it is. It's 5. I went, no. 2 plus 2 equals 4. They'll have an argument about it. I went, really boggles. I mean, somebody said to me, right, hook length 4 feet long. Right, okay, boom, boom. I mean, I'm neither one for millimeters or measurements, but when somebody says to me, oh, 32 centimeters, I'm lost. You tell me something's in inches, I'll understand you. Feet, yards, inches. Millimeters, centimeters. Well, millimeters I understand. I mean 10 mil spanner. I mean that's the obvious one that kind of dies when you're looking for it. It's taking its wings and went bye. Nice knowing you. So yeah, I know about millimeters when it comes to using tools, but anything else, feet, inches, please speak to me. Anything else, bye. I mean, centimeters baffles me. Like, I might be 31-year-old, but I mean, nah. I've got a mind of an old man. But a guy that just wants to help people. I mean, Simon, guaranteed that you wouldn't have thought about doing this. No, wise head, young shoulders is probably the time you're looking for, Simon. And that ain't no word of a lie. I started fly fishing when I was 3 years old, so I know the ins and outs of rainbow trout. I mean, this fly I've been tying up. I mean, this is my personal preference for catching them. I mean, I know there's other flies out there that I've got rainbow trout on. Still prefer this one, especially for up where I fish.
Do you kind of want to start wrapping things up, and that's 9 minutes to 1 in the morning.
I'm near enough done.
And my phone's getting fucking roasted here as well. Turn it on.
Let's see, I've only got this one to do, so. Simon, can I ask you a question? If you didn't mind me asking. Have you got a pen and paper? Right. Write down SMITHO, that's the letter O, number one, number two, 00, no, oops. Put FJ in front of 1200. Yeah, it's a motorbike. So SMITHOFJ1200 at gmail.com. SMITHOFJ1200 at gmail.com. That's it. You send me an email, um, and then I will reply back to you with my mobile number. You're most welcome, Simon. Right, I'm going to wrap this up here, guys. So I will see you all on my next one. Okay? Night night, guys. Bye bye.